business, design, law, and policy, join communities, tech meetups, open source projects, and hackathons, as we are going to do today. When you connect with people and listen, don't just look for what you can get. Look for opportunity to add to them, and people will fish you out. Once you have connected, the next step is to innovate. And I want to challenge how we think about innovation today. Too often we see it as a flashy technology or a big product launches. In reality, innovation is simple. Simply solving problems in better ways that matter to people. When we developed TransFlow, our flagship payment orchestration platform, we were not trying to win an award for architecture. We set out to solve a practical problem our client faced. How can we help schools on our platform to collect in secure ways? Sorry. How can we help schools on our platform to collect fees in a secure way, reliable manner that eliminate fraud that had plagued them over the years? It was common to practice in those days that students would manage to forge pay-in slips, and it was funny. We had a story about a student who went to one of our universities that he had paid school fees, and his brother too has paid. So he was coming for a refund. And those days, it took about 3 months to do reconciliation. After investigation, they realized that he had not paid, and his brother too had not paid. But he wanted a refund from the university. It was a frustrating thing for most universities, and the schools had no way of telling. That one problem that frustrated millions. Solving it meant talking to stakeholders, understanding regulation, testing, failing, fixing, and trying again. Eventually, when we were able to crack that single small problem, we found that the pattern was repeated across many industries beyond schools. Utilities that had the same problem, and soon we could provide a solution to solve many similar problems. Solving these problems boosted our growth. In fact, solving this problem led us into international money transfer. And most international money transfer that you get on your phone, money that you receive, could be coming from that particular platform. Innovation lessons I have learned. Start with the problem, not technology. Many tech projects fail because they are solutions looking for problems that might not exist. Look for problems. Don't hide in your room and think that you are solving the world's problem when your technology won't solve any problem. Iterate quickly. Your first version will really be perfect. Ship, test, and improve. Understand the user. If the person using your product cannot figure it out in 2 minutes, you have work to do. Leverage constraints. Some of the best innovations came when resources are tight. For TransFlow, we did not have power. When we started, there was inconsistent power. There was no data. Now you carry your phone, you can do hotspots. It didn't exist. And we wanted to create interconnectivity, and we needed to get to people. I remember the first person I spoke to had built some network, and because he came to my office then to look for a problem, to look for a solution, to sell us something, I thought with him, and I realized that he had a solution for me. And so when I was trying to put this together, I called him. And because I had that connection, he gave me access. Keep connecting. For students, this means final year project is not just academic requirement. It is a chance to build something that could live beyond classroom. It could be a startup, a non-profit solution, or an open source tool. And please, don't let money drive you. Seek to solve problems, and you make money. And remember, innovation is not just about big problems. Sometimes fixing a small daily frustration can create a massive opportunity. Create. Ideas are great. Prototypes are exciting. But the leap from bread box or breadboard to boardroom happens when we create something that can survive, scale, and sustain itself. This is where the real work begins. It is not just coding anymore. It is managing people, budgets, timelines, expectations. It is navigating regulations and customer demands. It makes decisions when there is no perfect choice. At IT Consortium, we have hard product that has failed, deals that fell through, launches that went wrong, but we learned, we adopted, we built again. To create at scale, you would need vision. See what your idea can become, not just what it is now. Think big, start small. Think big and start small. Just like Madame said, don't let people think that you cannot do it. The first place we tried to implement TransFlow, the MD of the bank told somebody who told me that, oh, this one, even my small girl at home can do it. And it can discourage you. And you know how he ran to me? One staff of leaving one bank into another. And the bank has just called us to salvage a big ticket for them. And when I walked into the boardroom, and I was very young, and that MD saw me, he said, I know you. I said, yes, I came here. And I said, Hope, what did you do with this young man? Then he started fumbling. And that day, I mean, now when I talk about it, I can't even imagine it. It was billions of CDs. I think 10 billion or something that the university was losing with the bank. And our solution was supposed to help solve it. There was a gentleman in that room who was moving from that bank to the other bank I'm talking about. He rushed there and told them, if you don't sign IT Consortium platform, you will lose this client. The following day, I got a call, and we had a client. So with someone looking down on me, and please don't be discouraged. That bank bought a platform from Nigeria for $400,000 and was not willing to pay us $30,000 for a platform. Now, that Nigerian platform doesn't exist, and ITC still exists. Discipline, deliver on time and on budget. Keep your promise. Resilience, push through setback without losing momentum. Communicate, explain your ideas clearly to non-technical people because they are often the ones who hold keys to funding and adoption. The boardroom respects results, not just concepts. If you want your seat there, deliver something that works. Create value and solve real problems. In conclusion, connect intentionally. Build relationship and partnership that multiply your impact. Innovate with purpose. Let the needs of real people guide your work. Create with courage. Make your ideas from theory to reality and keep building even when it is very, very hard, even when you are discouraged. The journey from breadboard to boardroom is not a straight path. It has detours, delays, unexpected turns, but if you keep learning, keep adapting, and keep showing up, you will not just participate in the future, you will shape it. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing an incredible things being done this week. Thank you very much.
Kindly take your seat. Thank you so much, Mr. Bujay, for that speech. Think big, start small. Tweek 2025. Oh, we've forgotten so soon. Tweek 2025. Wonderful. Connect, innovate, create. So in the spirit of innovation, we'll take a very short video from a project from IT Consortium who have been a partner for Tweek 2025. So control room, kindly help us with that. But before we do that, if you would want to connect to the Wi-Fi, Tweek 2025, the password is tweek@2025. Tweek@2025. We're talking about technology, so you can connect to our password as we wait for control room to help us with the video. This is what technology does to us sometimes, though. Okay. So as we patiently wait, let's take our next guest presentation, then we can take the short video. So our next guest speaker is a leading AI and innovation leader in connecting Ghanaian talent with global clients. And our next speaker is Mr. Bernhard Janichowski, who is a co-founder. A round of applause for Mr. Bernhard Janichowski. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Dear control room, do we have a presentation or do we not? Distinguished university leadership, thank you very much for having me here today. I'm glad to say I'm also a mechanical engineer, even though I started 2 years after you. That's about, I think, 35 years ago. Not here, though, but I'm really happy to be here. So thank you for making this institution the most recognized one in engineering in Western Africa and beyond. And also thank you for shaping the minds of these young students sitting here, because that's exactly the talent pool that we are looking for. Dear other business partners, I should say. I guess we're competitors because we're competing for these guys, but game on, right? We have 2.5 days, let's see. But you know, seriously, it's great that all of us are here and looking for this talent that is going to help us shape not only our future, but also theirs. And dear students, thank you for showing up. So the first bit you already did, you're trying to connect. That's excellent. And you already heard a lot of wisdom, and I'm just about to share more wisdom with you. So apologies for that. In our company, 4IR, we're doing AI solutions. And by the way, after 1.5 hours into a technology conference, I'm the first one that is mentioning artificial intelligence. That's quite surprising, but let me do that now. So our company is about AI. And we are excited about the possibilities and opportunities that it brings, especially for you, because you're way younger than I am. But also, obviously I can stand here and talk about stuff, and some of that stuff you will understand better than I do. We're taking in quite a few interns, and one of these interns, on his exit interview, I asked, you know what, I told a lot about our business, I taught you a lot, right? What did you learn? By the way, connect, control room, we need to connect somehow, so whenever I tell you something, you go to the next slide. So please go back to once, we're not there yet. Back is the other direction, exactly. So the intern then said, you know what, I listened to what you said, but for me, it was more important what you did, not what you said. And that resonated. So I wanted to use the next 20 minutes or so to talk a little bit about prototyping, but also about what we do when we prototype. I mentioned we are an AI company, so we are prototyping. And when Prof. Emanuel came and said, can you talk about prototypes? I said, fantastic. That's exactly our business, right? Doing new stuff. Prototype, the word originates from Greek, prototypos, meaning something new, the first version of something, which means also it can fail. Of course, there's a second, a third, a fourth, etc. This is our business. But then he said, it's not only about prototyping, but you also need to talk about how does a prototype matter, the first version. How can we make it relevant? And how does it matter? That's a good question. How many of you are in a relationship? None? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Well, I am in a relationship since more than 25 years. My beloved wife is sitting right here. And I tell you, in a relationship, when you have a great idea, it only matters if your spouse agrees. So there's a relevance for when we try out new stuff, because it might be the brightest idea that you've ever had, but if no one else wants it, so, you know, we need to make sure that it will resonate and it becomes relevant. So we're looking already at a few examples of prototypes that actually failed. Do you know what that is, what you're seeing on that screen? It's a car, obviously. It's more than that. It's an electric vehicle. And if you look at the year 1830, right, it was invented way before the petrol engine. I'm from Germany. I love petrol engines. Jesus, I'm a mechanical engineer. I love them even more. 6 cylinders, Porsche, BMW, turbochargers on top. Fantastic. The better solution is this. It's a simple engine. And it was invented before, but it didn't succeed. Why? Good question. It did not matter enough. And why did it not matter enough? Because the infrastructure, the ecosystem around it overtook it. And sometimes the good is the enemy of the perfect. So the petrol engines took over. Well, thank God. Fast forward, 2013. I mean, some of you might be old enough. I'm definitely old enough to recognize Google Glass. A fantastic attempt. Google invested about $1 billion into this initiative. And they abandoned it. It failed. even though it's still a great idea. But in 2013, it was too early, and people felt awkward using it, talking to glasses, using it for virtual reality. Now, we're an AI company. We're actually about to reinvent it because we need it for one of our projects. Another example. Now we're getting into rhythm without even communicating. I like this control room. Wherever you're sitting, you're doing a great job. Theranos, I don't know if you know this company. It's a US-based, also about $1 billion in investment, and they claimed to have invented a machine that you can see there, and the machine has a very easy functionality to check your blood. The problem? It didn't work. So those old failures tell us something. Those tell us something about what do we have to do in order to matter, in order for our solutions and prototype to resonate. And on the next slide, please. This is a process that we are still following, us as a company, to go through, and you don't have to take pictures. I think I'm allowed to share this presentation later on, to make sure that relevance is actually being created. Yes, you need a problem or an idea. Yes, you need to do research around it. Is there competition, et cetera, et cetera. And you need to go through those different phases in order to increase the likelihood of success. And you see that in different shapes or forms many times around the globe. I think that the most known one is the Y Combinator one out of the US, who would, if they think your idea is good enough, also take part in your company and give you money to fund this process. And that's fantastic, but that costs a lot of money. Well, it costs a lot of money, but it's probably worthwhile going through it. Why is it relevant? I'm going to get to that in 10 minutes. But the first conclusions of what can we do for a prototype to matter are on the next slide. Next slide, yeah. Does it matter is not only defined by you. Look around you, right? Know for whom you are doing your prototype. It might be a professor, if it's your capstone project, but think beyond, right? And if you do, value the connect. The create you do, and you get grades. The connect will open up opportunities for you. Better beats perfect, yes. No, that was too quick, sorry. Better beats perfect. We are living in a world that is becoming increasingly fast. I'm 56 years old, and it becomes really fast for me. Not for you, but new ideas are going to pop up quickly. Don't try to be perfect. None of us is. None of us is. Now, it's your idea, but feedback is super critical. The worse the feedback, the better it is because it's honest. Value it. It's not personal. It's about the thing you're about to create or created. It's not about you. And yes, you can fake it. And part of my life, I was a consultant working for one of the big 4 companies. I know what faking is, but you can't fake it forever. So that brings me to the next and for us more relevant point. Because I do believe that the technology is going through something significant now. And we call it the 4th Industrial Revolution. What a surprise, that's also our company's name. What do we mean when we say that? Going back more than 250 years, thank you. The first Industrial Revolution. The first Industrial Revolution did something super simple. It replaced human strength. This guy, John Henry, you can look it up. I think some of you are definitely fact-checking, is a legend in the US. John Henry there's a story about John Henry who, as you can see, is the strongest guy on the planet. That is his core competence. He is strong. And that's necessary. That's functionally necessary for him because he is working in construction, in railroads. He is the fastest one with a sledgehammer to drill holes in rocks for explosive for the rail tracks that were being constructed back in the day. That's his core competence. But then the first Industrial Revolution happened and the steam engine was invented. All of a sudden, strength was available, not because of human beings, but because of a machine. And the legend goes on saying that there was a competition between a steam engine and John Henry. And John Henry won. And then he died. A few years later, this guy, World Championship for Coding, a couple of weeks ago only, held in Tokyo, Japan. And how it works is the following. So there are regional, obviously, competitions, not sure if anyone here participated. Anyhow, so the 10 best coders, human beings, assemble in Tokyo to then see who's the best. Who's the best of the best of the best? This year's event was sponsored by OpenAI. And you know what's going to come next, right? OpenAI said, we gladly sponsor, but you need to allow us for our artificial intelligence to partake in this. And they did. And who won? No, don't go back. Psycho won. The human being won. But he won barely. Number 2 was the AI, and then the other 9 guys. And what did he say? I'm utterly exhausted. He didn't die, though. I think he's still alive. But he said, I'm utterly exhausted, and that might be the last time that a human can win against AI in coding. That's fascinating, isn't it? I don't know if your professors allow you to do vibe coding in your classes. If they don't allow you to do so, I highly recommend to not do it in class, but do it regardless for whatever prototype you're following. You need to know about the new stuff. Now the next slide, please. Because that is something that a guy, there's a quote, Shenzhen Huang, you know who that is. He said in the next 5 years, many, many millionaires will be created. Why? Because of AI. Because, and not only because of the technology, but because also it is accessible, and because it makes the creation of prototypes way easier. He's talking about democratizing. And that's fantastic news, especially for this university, for this continent that is so young. Quick comparison, my home country, Germany, 85 million people, Ghana, 35 million people. How many of those 85 million and 35 are below 30? It's the equal number, around 20 million. Where's the future? So if AI will create more millionaires, I think this is a very positive message for this country and for this university, because some of these millionaires sit already in that room, even though you're probably not a millionaire yet. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here. But you have the chance to become one. And I agree to what one of the speakers said, you should not do that for the money. Money is a KPI of something that works. It's not the sole motivator, it's not strong enough. Because you will not spend week in, week out to bug fix, etc., etc. But money will be a consequence. And this quote is a summary of the opportunities that are in front of us because of a technology breakthrough, because of the 4th Industrial Revolution. Now, following this, on the next slide, obviously I asked my most favorite LLM, well, how do I become rich? And this is the advice I've been given, and I'm sure all of you did the same thing. Maybe a bit, prompt engineering is the, communication of the 21st century. All of us should know how to do it, but all of us should know how to use it in order to extract intelligence that we want. My point is, doing prototypes that create and connect, innovate, and create becomes way, way faster. And that is an opportunity for you as an engineer. Now, moving on, and I wanted to, next slide, our lessons. Because we claim to be in the prototyping business, right? We do AI. So remembering what this one intern told me, it's like, I rather looked at what you did, not what you said. This is how we go about making prototypes relevant. Next slide. Few of our projects. I'm around for the next 2.5 days. If you want to know of any of those, find me. The one that I like almost the most is the very top. A virtual technician, great, right? It's going to replace you soon. It does not, at least not yet. A virtual technician is an AI solution that is utilizing skill sets, AI-driven skills that are available to us now, visual, multimodal communication, large or small language models that I have available on my phone to help engineers do a better job. And this is a project that we do for an industry giant in Europe. Because they have a problem, they're running out of engineers. Another opportunity for you. Now, these projects we still do, next slide, by following the same process that I showed you 10 minutes ago. But instead of needing 6 months to go from ideation to prototype, now, we need 2 to 3 weeks. It's way faster. You can fail way faster now. Not because we are smarter, but because technology became smarter. And because, next slide, we are using AI to help us go, no one back please? We are using AI to go through this process. We are using AI to help us innovate. I mean, I'm 56 years old, and we are in discussion with one of the European banks about doing a KYC project. And I worked in this field. KYC, know your customer. Anyone who is familiar with the financial industry knows what that is. It's a pretty boring topic. But it's heavily regulated, so you need to know your stuff. And I thought I knew my stuff because I did it for a few years. Now, we sat together in our lab, in Accra, where we have about 100 engineers working with us. And it was amazing how quickly those young, bright people picked up what KYC was all about. And after 2 or 3 weeks, they knew as much as I did after 2 or 3 years working in the field. That's fascinating. So for the ideation, for the innovation bit, we can get help because, I don't know, humankind's wisdom is encapsulated in a few of these large language models. Use them. Going through the process, obviously, we are also using all kinds of vibe coding tools that are available to us. Not because we want to rely 100% on them, but because they make us way faster. And because they get us to a point, to the connecting point, way faster. After a few hours, I can show to a client what a prototype looks like. I can show to a client the functionality. I can get the first feedback. I can fail the first time. It's not 3 months, it's not 6 months, it's a few hours, and that is super powerful. But not only are we using AI to build stuff, we also want to be cognizant of what AI can do to make a solution better. This number, 1.9 million, I think some of you know Hugging Face, obviously, right? Probably the platform where the most AI models are now available for all of us. This is the number of models, 1.9 million. Good luck picking your poison. The point is simple. It's two, actually. Number one, AI as a function will become a commodity, but not the usage, because the usage will require you as an engineer to understand the problem. And number two, also, we need to find the right ones. Our way of finding the right ones is, well, Homer Simpson's skull, as you can see, because we classify them according to the human senses. If we need an AI that can see, we have the 5 best, we believe. If we need an AI that can reason, right, we are picking amongst the LLMs that are out there, and so forth. So we are using AI to build, but we are using AI skill sets or capabilities, as we call them, to integrate into our solution. This helps us go through this innovation cycle way, way faster. Next slide, please. And we built, 2025 was coined the year of the AI agent. I think this is relevant for you because agent is a cool word for a prototype. I'm outsourcing some of my skills to something that I maybe not completely understand. I call it an agent, and this agent is orchestrating, is augmented my own capabilities. We believe this is powerful because the world believes it. And on the next slide, you see an extrapolation of market, which is a proxy for opportunity for you. 2025 is very much to the left-hand side. You can't even see, but this is how this market of AI prototyping will grow over the next years. And why? Because there are many, many problems that we have to solve. The good thing is those problems are not only here, but the global north is actually facing, I believe, bigger problems than here. And why? Because it's old and you're young. And on the next slide, this is my most favorite slide. The darker the color, the older the country. The reason why we came to Ghana is simple, because you guys, because of the talent. We started our AI journey 8 years ago, and we started with a small team out of Carnegie Mellon, Pittsburgh, which was one of the US universities probably best known back in the day for AI. We found 3 data scientists, and they all left us because they had better offers, because. Second attempt, we went in Europe. We couldn't find data scientists. So, you know, we're scratching our heads, drinking lots of German beer, and think, where do we go? We needed to go where we find the right combination out of urgency and talent that is available to us. That is why we came here. All of our AI talent is in Ghana. It's not in Europe anymore. It's not in the US. But I'm also happy to say that, I mean, not all of you will become superstars, of course not. But in terms of international competition, you can prevail. Our projects, so far, we deliver exclusively to US and European clients. And that might be good or might be bad. We want to do more here. But it tells me one thing. It tells me that the talent that we are using that is coming out of this country is good enough to compete, and good enough to compete on an international level. Yes, put your hands together for this talent. As owners of this company, we invested our money. So data points like an email that we get from a US client saying, you know what, fantastic jobs. We could not have done that without you. We could not have done that without your AI team. That's my currency of success. It's not the money, but it's the recognition that we are getting international about the prototyping business that we are exporting out of Ghana to international clients. And we do that because the talent is here and it will continue to be here. The problem will be in those countries that are dark in color. With that, I want to close, but I want to leave, wait a minute, I have a conclusion slide maybe with a few bullets, but I can also talk to them. Whether your prototype matters is still not defined by you, I'm sorry. AI might be helpful in recognizing what the problem actually is, but the connecting bit you still need to do. In fact, even more so. Because we believe that the innovation and the creation is easier. You don't have to hide in your basement. You don't have to do debugging at 2 o'clock in the morning, because the AI will help you create the solution much faster. What you should be doing, you should be bothering me and my fellow private industry representatives here about opportunities. Right? The connect bit is becoming even more important. And you should be looking for people with diverse backgrounds, because also one of the speakers already said, sometimes the functionality that you build is not the functionality that I want, but it might be close. So don't be too hung up if I'm criticizing you. I might be interested in something that you don't see, but I do. And then it's your decision to go through that open door or not. But go out there, connect with us, talk to us, use AI to build, and use AI to build with. And then we're going to have very interesting 2.5 days. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bernard Janicholski. Round of applause once more. I hope if we don't take anything from here, what we can take is the fact that create your first version of prototype and make it better. Who knows, probably in the next 5 years, you'll be part of the millionaires that will be created using AI. So very soon we'll be having a panel discussion on design thinking and AI, how we can use AI to solve societal problems. But before that, let's take the short interlude. Control room, kindly help us with that.
Are you still sending group contributions to an individual's personal mobile money wallet? How do you track and account for the contributions? And how do you know all the money is used for its intended purpose? Welcome to Chango, your trustworthy group contributions app. Whether you're raising funds for a friend's wedding, an old school reunion, or any public campaign, Chango is your best choice. Chango keeps track of everyone's contribution and, best of all, gives you the power to vote for the cash out.
So before we go ahead with our panel discussion, management would love to take a lead. So let's take the group picture. Can we have management on stage together with our partners? Join us on stage so that we can take the group photograph.
Are you still sending group contributions to an individual's personal mobile money wallet? How do you track and account for the contributions? And how do you know all the money is used for its intended purpose? Welcome to Chango.
Can we have our industry partners join us for the group photograph?
Whether you're raising funds for
Planning committee
an old school reunion,
for Tweek 2025, can you join?
Chango is your best choice. Chango keeps track of everyone's contribution and, best of all, gives you the power to vote for the cash out so you know the money goes exactly where it must go. It is fast, easy, and transparent. Visit changoapp.com to sign up. Our email address is chango@itconsortiumgh.com. Are you still sending group contributions to an individual's personal mobile money wallet? How do you track and account for the contributions? And how do you know all the money is used for its intended purpose? Welcome to Chango, your trustworthy group contributions app. Whether you're raising funds for a friend's wedding, an old school reunion, or any public campaign, Chango is your best choice. Chango keeps track of everyone's contribution and, best of all, gives you the power to vote for the cash out so you know the money goes exactly where it must go. It is fast, easy, and transparent. Visit changoapp.com to sign up. Our email address is chango@itconsortiumgh.com. Are you still sending group contributions to an individual's personal mobile money wallet? How do you track and account for the contributions? And how do you know all the money is used for its intended purpose? Welcome to Chango, your trustworthy group contributions app. Whether you're raising funds for a friend's wedding, an old school reunion, or any public campaign, Chango is your best choice. Chango keeps track of everyone's contribution and, best of all, gives you the power to vote for the cash out so you know the money goes exactly where it must go. It is fast, easy, and transparent. Visit changoapp.com to sign up. Our email address is chango@itconsortiumgh.com. Are you still sending group contributions to an individual's personal mobile money wallet? How do you track and account for the contributions? And how do you know all the money is used for its intended purpose? Welcome to Chango, your trustworthy group contributions app. Whether you're raising funds for a friend's wedding, an old school reunion, or any public campaign, Chango is your best choice. Chango keeps track.
Araba, there are some people at the door. Go and tell them I have traveled to Russia.
Yes, Daddy.
Where's your father?
My father said I should tell you he has traveled to Russia.
Your father has killed me. I sent him money from America to complete my house for me.
Are all student association contributions?
Even the money from the fundraiser for Kweku's surgery.
Oh! He too? Don't be a victim. If you're contributing to a project, alumni dues, or any public campaign, Chango is your best choice. Chango keeps track of all donations and gives you the power to know exactly where the money goes. Chango is approved by Bank of Ghana. Call 0270-066-614 or visit changoapp.com for more information.
Uncle, my father is hiding under the bed.
Oh, Araba.
Chango for your groupings and crowdfunding.
5. Okay, so it's time for our panel discussion, and we are exploring how the power of artificial intelligence, guided by the principles of design thinking, can help us to tackle real-world challenges while keeping the people at the heart of every solution. So our panelists, our first panel would be Dr. Prince Ajay from the Department of Computer Engineering here at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Dr. Prince Ajay, can you join us on stage, please? Okay. Our next panelist is Mr. Akwesi Ekumi Amoa, who is a senior research engineer at IT Consortium. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as he joins us on stage. Do we have Mr. Akwesi here? Okay, round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Our next is Mr. Sam Ajaidu from Axel MD. Round of applause as he joins us on stage. And our final panelist is Mr. John Anamboy Aduko, who is a student innovator here at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. It means we are very biased with our applause. Round of applause to all our panelists here. Can we have Dr. Prince Ajay join us so we can start the panel discussion? Round of applause as he comes. Hello? Okay. So I welcome you all. We are talking about design thinking and AI. But before we start, in simple terms, how do you define design thinking and how we can connect it with AI? And you can probably bring practical examples from the field that you find yourself. Are we good with the question? So let me start with you.
All right. Design thinking, simply, is factoring in human-centered approach, factoring in the human element into your solution. So instead of we being engineers, instead of we thinking, okay, I have the best of all algorithms to solve this particular problem, we are rather factoring in what would the human rather want as part of their solution. Maybe they would rather want a much faster solution as compared to your best algorithm to solving that problem, right? So in broad strokes, that's design thinking, factoring in the human element into your solutions, right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So design thinking is really another approach of solving problems with the human people at the center of the whole solution. Instead of you trying to create something that humans should adapt to, you are looking at what problems exist with the humans, and then based on the problems, you are going to propose solutions that really work for them, not just something that you think. I think in the presentation that was made, you realized that it was around this whole discussion. And with AI, it will help us, have enough data from humans. Example, say sentiment from humans, like example, for instance, a transport app for students. You really want to know the sentiment of the students, how they feel, how they behave about particular means of transport on campus, and then have these data feed into an AI model, iterate faster, and then get a solution that really works for them. So that is the foundation of design thinking. Yep.
Thank you. All right, so in simple terms, design thinking is actually doing things on the level of how human beings think and behave. So trying to solve problems based on the thought processes of human beings and the wants, the needs of human beings, being at the center of it. Now, when we talk about design thinking and AI, we know that then AI offers us the opportunity to think big, extensively. So AI opens doors for us to really know the needs and wants of people and to design to meet that.
So when we talk of design thinking, it's more of a philosophy, right? It's a way of thinking. So it's not a set of rules that you follow. It's a full framework that helps you to gather more ideas. And AI helps us in this stage. In fact, the design thinking stages have a lot of phases, right? And AI helps us in almost all the phases. If there's gathering ideas, AI is that teammate that can assume a lot of rules. It doesn't get tired of you. I can ask it questions and help it to generate ideas for me or puncture holes into my ideas. Then I'll be able to develop my idea very well. And if it comes to prototyping, AI can help me quickly prototype. So it really helps in the design thinking phase.
Okay, so at this point, they've all explained what design thinking is. But I'll summarize by saying design thinking is an attempt to design to meet intangible objectives. All right? That sounds a little weird, but let me explain. The human-centeredness being discussed are really goals that are sort of intangible, essentially feelings and emotions. Right? So you are trying to design, build concrete, finite things, but the needs you are trying to meet are really needs that are sort of fleeting, emotional. Right? Have you observed how words like sexy are now being used for cars? Have you ever thought about it? It's a piece of machine with a lot of metal and painted with a funny color, and there's something, it's called sexy. It sounds off. But then the whole idea is sort of appeal to emotions and sensibilities and thinkings of people that may not be immediately apparent. Right? So when you are designing and you are thinking about how people feel, what they think, what would appeal to them, how do they go about their day in and their activities day in and day out, and so on and so forth, you are actually doing design thinking. And the concept of AI, as has been explained earlier on, is really the dream of trying to make computers like human beings, essentially. So trying to have computers think, respond, evolve, learn, and behave like how human beings behave is the objective, the pursuit of artificial intelligence. So that's how I'll sort of summarize the two ideas.
Okay, so with the understanding from design thinking and AI, with Dr. J, how do you think, what are some of the challenges in Ghana that we can inculcate design thinking and AI to solve those particular challenges?
Take a whole day. But I guess you could take practically any field you could think about, and there are challenges that we could inculcate AI to solve. I work in healthcare, so that's what I channel my research area into. And so I'll just mention a few things that we can do with AI. The first is to expand access to healthcare, right? We live in a country, unfortunately in this part of the world, where access to healthcare is very limited. If you don't know anybody in a hospital and you go normally to the hospital, you may be surprised how difficult things can be for you. So AI presents an opportunity to expand that access and to make things a little cheaper, right? And I think a second area will just be, for lack of a better word, let me choose education, educating our people, helping to convey what appears to be complex information in a very simple way to the population, right? When the population is educated and they understand what is at stake, you then have a better country, generally speaking. So two broad areas I think as a country AI could help address critical challenges in, number one, healthcare access to good quality healthcare. And number two, just improving the general literacy, the general sense of awareness of the people. You know, there's this group on YouTube doing something very nice. They call them Street Boys or something, Backstreet Boys or something. They go around the country just cleaning the major streets and put them on video. And it's amazing how in a short time they've garnered so much following. They're essentially doing what the structures in place are supposed to do. They are doing that seamlessly, and they are getting so much support. So it means that if we had the population enlightened, aware, involved in building this agenda called Ghana, we are likely to achieve better results. And I see AI will be able to help bring relevant matters down to the level where the whole population can be. So healthcare and the general literacy awareness of the country, I think AI can help us.
Okay, I want John to come in from the student's perspective.
So for me, design thinking and AI can actually help a lot. There are a lot of problems in Ghana, but one thing I like about AI is how it is able to drive insights from data. Now, anybody at all can gain insights, will be able to make data-driven decisions in a lot of fields. Let's take finance, for instance. In the field of finance, let's say you have your Momo, we do a lot of Momo in Ghana, right? Then you have your transactions. Maybe you don't understand what you are buying or what you are doing, but AI can be integrated into all these things so that you can quickly ask, oh, what am I spending more? How are the trends? What can I do to manage my spending? So you have an idea of your habits that you don't even know you have. And that's the power of AI. And health and education, they can really help Ghanaian youth a lot.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me speak to Mr. Ajaidu. Let's talk about practicalities in combining design thinking and AI. If you can share some examples of the projects you came up with that you combined design thinking and AI.
Okay, so one of the key challenges when it comes to business development or productivity in our part of the world is financial resource. And so it's not that we don't have ideas. We do have ideas. It's not that we don't know about the problems. We know about the problems. But then how do we move from knowing about the problems and getting the solution? And I think that one of the key areas that AI stands the chance of helping us is to reduce the cost of productivity in its practical nature. I mean, look at the number of students that are here present. I know that because all of you are computer engineers or biomedical engineers, we have other course students here. The whole idea is how do we integrate these diverse intelligences to be able to solve our problems. And I think that AI offers that opportunity to augment, integrate and augment the diverse ideas we have available for us. You know, the critical aspect of productivity is human capital. And AI helps us to harness the diversity of human capital. I could give you an example. So my team and I are developing a health solution, and we needed to add artificial intelligence to what we're doing. And I realized that in terms of the resource that is needed, we didn't have that at that point in time. And I also got to see that my company is close to this institution. And because AI is up and a lot of people are learning, I asked myself, how do we get this solution done with minimum resource using people? So whereas we may not have resources to buy tools, AI will offer us the opportunity to harness the intelligences that we have in the lives of the people we have as students or as your workers. So instead of, say, spending several hundreds of thousands of dollars getting tools, AI gives you the opportunity to tap into the minds of people to solve solutions. Yeah.
Okay, so it makes it faster and simple. Okay.
Less expensive.
And
I think the key thing that we have to look at is the fact that artificial intelligence can help us reduce the cost of productivity. And we need to take advantage of that.
Okay, well, let me speak to Mr. Philip Quino. He talked about the fact that AI makes it simple, it makes us safe. But let's talk about the ethics, because we know now we have AI, but sometimes because of the use of it, our students can attest to this, you just need something, you just put it out there without actually thinking so much about it. You want AI to provide you with all the information that you need. How can we follow the guidelines in combining design thinking and AI?
Okay, so with design thinking and ethics, you realize that the base of these solutions are empathy. People need to empathize with the problem domain. You come down to the problem domain and then understand what solution you want to, what problems exist within that space. So for instance, let's use KNUST as a case study. I want to solve a problem here. I can just go and then put in any prompt, and then rapidly it gives me a prototype, I shape, I get all the, but really if you go down to students, say let's endow students, how they assess funds to pay their fees and all that, and then the delays, and so these are problems that will come up. So you get the problems, real world problems, and the AI bit is assuming there's a student platform here that has enough data of some of these emotions, sentiments, and then you are able to have AI systems connect to this. It's able to point out the real problems, and then you get the problems, define the problem with another AI tool. AI tool can also, so there are different AI tools for different parts of the design thinking process. So there's a section that you would have an AI tool to help you get data for problems. Then there's a section that will help you generate the problem statement and also to ideate. You also get AI tooling to help you ideate. Then you have an AI tooling that will help you rapidly prototype let's say the theming, different demographics, different user experience, different age groups. Once you have enough data, you're able to know that this user interface will work for the student, this one will work for the lecturers, above 50, below 50. So AI will help you get all that. It's a very difficult thing to do, even if you have the will to do it on your own. But AI and available data sets can help you get this natural language processed. And there are a lot of engines. Even though it's biased, we don't have in our part of the world so much. If we start today, we are able to aggregate data or build data that will help us train models and then now build real solutions that the people need. Then it comes to the prototyping. The AI tooling also help us with all this data we've received, give us real prototypes, templates. So in our company, for instance, at Heidelberg, before we even design for the business, we have product owners who go to the business and then they go and interact with the business and find out what is the problem at the plant. So at scale, someone cannot be doing that to the whole country. It's a difficult task, but we have platforms within the country that people share sentiment. Radio station, voice data, TV station, interviews, demonstrations, so many other channels that have a lot of data feed coming in. We have powerful engines receiving all this data, processing the data to know the real problems, and then based on that, we have solutions that address these problems. So it's not just about going online, putting some prompts together to bring a prototype and say, I've solved the problem. That's not how design-centered thinking is. That's not how design thinking is. You have to really have a lot of engineering process throughout. And it sounds a lot, but it's faster with AI. And it's possible with AI. Yeah, thank you.
So there's a need for human relations. You go down to the people to get to know the problem before you go ahead with whatever you want to do.
Right, yes, it's very important. Even sometimes the filtered problems that AI gives you, you don't say that this is what my engine or my model is telling me. after getting your defined problem, you should still have a step to go back to the people and say that this is what, so that's the prototyping. The first, you go to them and then you have to iterate. You go to them, they tell you that no, this is not it. You have to come back to the breadboard, work on it, and then go back. So it's an iterative process, a lot of collaboration between humans and AI. And they are very good companions in terms of our solutions. I mean, AI is helping us bring out really difficult solutions that it will take you years to complete. You're able to do it in really a very short period of time. So I think we need to adopt AI with this design thinking. Yes.
Okay. So let's move to the fintech area. Let me speak to Mr. Amoa. Okay. How do you think design thinking can help us create solutions for people in the rural communities? We're talking about the fact that what we create should be human-centered. So people in rural communities, how can we create such solutions for them?
All right, so at least one of the first points of call is when you take the rural areas, they might have lack of internet, for example. So one of the very first things you might want to do when you get to a rural area is not to design your solution with internet connectivity in mind, right? Because they might not have those. There might be, cellular networks over there and all, but they might not have access to smartphones, especially. So you might want to go for something like a USSD application, instead of maybe going towards, I want to create a very good app for them, right? That's you factoring in their problems. Second point might be to how you would structure your language or how you structure language towards them. You might want to think, let me just bring out the most, the biggest buzzwords and everything, but to them, quote unquote, excuse me to say, they might be uneducated, might be illiterate. So you might want to find different ways of communicating to them. Might you want to think of maybe a way of getting them audio, instead of you communicating with them through text and all that, maybe an audio input or output will much better serve them, right? So those kind of factors, you've considered, okay, how their roads are like. Would you be good enough to send certain applications there? Or, good thing. For example, if you have, you are trying to create something for their farms, okay? You want to create maybe a pest detection system. Those kind of systems might need internet connectivity and everything. So already in your back of your mind, because of how you know these people to be, one, you create your devices to be very robust. Two, you make sure that these devices, they can capture the data for a long time or can work on the edge. I'm very sure my other colleagues here can help us with that. Those devices don't necessarily have to be sending information or data back and forth all the time and harming them, right? That's how you're supposed to factor in their considerations, okay? Also, maybe those devices will have to be better suited to their environment. They might be a bit colder or a bit more moist there. So if you're having your hardware devices, how robust are they to moisture? You don't want them rusting and all that, right? That's you factoring their human, their humanity or their human-centeredness into your applications, all right? So those are several kind of ways you could do that. How they speak, how they think, how they move, or how they do their things would be, would be how you...
All be factored in it.
Factored into it.
Okay. Let me speak to Dr. AJ. Let's bring it to the universities in our schools because you are in academia. How can we train students combining design thinking and AI so that we can have future innovators? And if there are some students who are already doing something like that, you can share with us as well.
Okay. So to answer that question, let's take a few steps back and try and contextualize this idea of ethics in AI. All of you have watched Aladdin before, right? Aladdin, right? He wraps a lamp and a genie appears. And then the genie grants 3 wishes. The genie is all powerful. He can do anything, I think apart from a few things. He can't kill somebody or something, a few other things. Then he asks Aladdin to say whatever he wants. We know the 3 wishes Aladdin finally came up with. What if it wasn't Aladdin who took the lamp? What if it was a Ghanaian politician who was about to go for elections, what do you think his request would have been from the genie? Hello? What do you think the request would have been? Or let's say it's now a final year student who's about to write his exam. What do you think the request from the genie would have been? Aha. So the problem is not the genie. The genie can do anything you'd want it to do. The problem is who found the lamp and who summoned the genie. So that's how AI is really, that's where the ethics issue of AI comes in. The tools, the models are very powerful. The question is, who is wielding them? Who is applying the model? So AI as a tool is amoral. It doesn't know right or wrong. But the problem is who is leveraging that tool. And the thing is that for most part of the development of AI, it has been among the technical people, so to speak, engineers and computer scientists, who don't do a lot of interaction with human beings, unfortunately. These are guys who are in the basement, stuck to computer screens, coding, so they have an unrealistic imagination of how probably things are happening in the other side of the world, so to speak. Right? I say this because I know it. I didn't used to think the ethics subject about AI was important because I was part of those guys in the basement. Then you come out of the basement into the real world and notice that it is very important how the tools you are making are going to interact with the human beings. So my suggestion would be, and something we are personally doing in the department, would be a stronger collaboration with a place like the social sciences, right? Believe it or not, if AI is going to deliver ultimate good, we are going to have the engineers talking more with the social sciences. They are going to have to talk more with them. Because if you are going to design something human beings are ultimately going to use, you must have an expert who knows how human beings behave more than one who knows how computers behave more. I don't know whether that makes sense. Good. So something we are doing in our department is we are collaborating strongly. Like I said, we work in healthcare with the biomedical biomedical engineering program. And we are working strongly with the people in the healthcare space. We are talking to them. We are asking what their needs are. You don't sit in your room and imagine that this thing is a problem for a doctor. You'll be surprised that it is not. One of our lecturers told us a story. Says they went to build boreholes in the community, everything nice, and then they left. But the people were not using the borehole at all. So they thought, this is clean water. Why do you have to walk all the way to the river to fetch water? So they decided to find out why that was happening. Apparently, the ladies in the community, who were the people responsible for fetching the water, enjoyed the chat and the gossip that can occur on the journey to the river to fetch the water and come back. That journey, that talk was more interesting to them than walking a short distance to the borehole to get water. If only these people had spent some time with the community, understood how they live and what the nuances are, they probably would have put the borehole at a different place. So what we are doing is, for work related to healthcare, we are collaborating strongly with the people who are at the frontiers of healthcare delivery. We are working with the School of Medical Science, we are working with KCCR, we are working with the pharmacy people. So if you have a project that integrates AI, you as the engineer, you are not an expert. You don't know the domain. Don't assume you understand the domain. Humbly go to the people who are experts in the domain and have them guide you. It's like saying, I know how to use Excel. You know how to use Excel for what? If you're an accountant, you use it for something different as opposed to someone who probably does something else. So engaging with the established domains in their field and understanding that your role there is to support them, is to help them improve what they are doing, right? That is the way to go, and that's an approach that we are taking very seriously in the department to engage with. So we've more or less become like a service provider. If it's business, accounting, whatever, they lead, they tell you what they want, and then you design to meet that need. So understanding your place in the whole product delivery, whatever you like to call it, is important. AI is going to support and make processes better. On its own, it doesn't really mean much. Yes.
So if a student wants to be an innovator, he shouldn't just think about it in his room, come out with something, and just begin doing it.
In fact, I would even strongly suggest computer science, computer engineering, biomedical engineering, apart from the core technical skills you are learning, please build expertise in another domain. Please. So we take courses like accounting and the rest. Learn it very well. If you're in biomed, the healthcare space, learn it very well. Because when you are done, you will notice that you are just like a very smart Excel sheet. What do we use you for? Where can you make contribution to? So if you are going to innovate and do very well, please spend the time outside the 9 to 5 or the 8 to 5 building competencies in skills, in areas, in domains where you want to find maximum expression, or else you will now be looking for, I don't know what you'll be looking for.
Thank you so much. So let's go to the challenges. Let me speak to John. What are some of the challenges that you face? You are a student innovator, so from a practical experience, some of the challenges you face when combining design thinking and AI in the projects that you come up with.
I think one challenge we usually face is trying to think of AI as this tool that will take everything and do for us. We need to view AI as a collaborator, as a teammate. I remember I tried building a project and I said, okay, let me just use a coding agent. And the coding agent would do everything for me. So I interacted with AI, it gave me everything, the plan, and I gave it to the coding agent, I asked it to execute it. It did everything. But then, as I tried to scale it a bit, I started facing problems. Because I didn't follow the AI from the beginning, I didn't also know how to really go about helping the AI to solve my problems. Everything became messy. So I had to restart the whole thing again. But then this time, collaborating with the AI, I'm asking it, okay, this is what I want. I want you to do this and that and that. Then it goes ahead and it does it. Then I'll look at it, test it if it works. If I have any other thing, I'll go ahead to tell it again. Now, if you are working with the AI as a collaborator, as a teammate, as someone who will help you, not someone who will do the work for you, then you'll be able to get more out of the AI. And also as students, we usually don't have the luxury to go out there and give our products to people to use and really give us feedback. One thing we can do is to interact with AI. Let the AI assume the role as a user. Tell the AI what you are doing, all the requirements that you've met. And let the AI punch holes into the things that you are doing from that user's perspective. If you want users from a financial domain, if you want users from any domain, let the AI assume that kind of user. And let that AI tell you what is wrong with your idea or what you can do to improve it. This will really help us in developing better apps and combining design thinking with AI.
Okay, thank you so much. So this question goes to all our panelists. Why is collaboration important? He talked about the fact that you need to collaborate. Why is it important when it comes to design thinking and AI to solve problems for people? Let's start with Mr. Ajayi. Why is it important to collaborate when it comes to design thinking and AI?
I think that collaboration cannot be done with. We cannot let go of collaboration when we want to innovate. I think innovation is actually collaboration. You have to collaborate with those that have the problem and collaborate with the team that is supposed to solve that problem. You know, design thinking is about three things. Whatever I'm going to do as a student, as a business person, the people that I'm going to develop the solution for, do they decide if I'm going to give all of you Kente Club this afternoon? Will all of you put it on this moment? So the Kente Club that I'm bringing, is it desirable? Do I have suppliers to bring me the Kente Club? If all of you say that you want to wear the Kente Club. So is it feasible for us to do these things? And is it viable as we're going to bring these solutions together? And because this framework, one person cannot genuinely put all of these things together, then we have to collaborate. When I say we have to collaborate, if you were listening to John, One key thing that I was surprised at to see last week at the office was that something that we had already planned to do, and we had scheduled it for like next year in our solution, one of our team members decided to use some days off at the office to stay alone and to collaborate with AI. So you get to see that something that could have been done by about 7 people, he decided to wait at the office, stay in the night, and then Saturdays, weekends, to collaborate with the artificial intelligence tools we're using to solve the problem. So you get to see that we must get to know the capacity that the AI has so that we can stretch it. The reason why we collaborate is to stretch our capacities. So I have something you don't have, you have something I don't have. And AI has a lot of things that the average person does not have. So I can summon a lot of doctors and say, act as the nutritionist, act as the optometrist, act this way, act that way, and then begin to do my focus group discussion with them using one single tool. And you get to see that that collaboration that I am having with artificial intelligence automatically brings something up. Maybe it will take me months to gather. So we cannot necessarily throw away artificial intelligence. There is a level of the conversation where people are saying that artificial intelligence is going to take away our jobs. Guys, artificial intelligence won't take your job. It's not going to take your job. It's when you don't want to engage, then you cannot participate. But we can shape artificial intelligence to create more jobs for us. Let me give you a critical problem we have in Africa. And as you are coming out from university, you can start thinking about it. America has a lot of data. America has a lot of data. Europe has a lot of data. Now, the data I'm talking about is not about them, but about Africa. When you look at US's data on Africa, it is unmatched by us. The concept is, can we contextualize our data? Can we develop artificial intelligence that understands the person that is working at Edum and not necessarily someone at Wall Street? How do we do this? How do we collaborate with our local people to develop models that solves the problem that we need and not what people need that are pushed on us? So the whole idea is, how do we come together to contextualize our solutions? How do we come together to make sure that we are not just doing things that people outside the world will say, hey, it's a good thing, but we using the solutions that are backed by the data we have in Africa. You check around. How many students are graduating this year from just computer engineering? What is that data for us as a nation? How do we come together to compound all these data so that our AIs will be able to help us solve the problem? That collaboration with industry, academia, policy, it cannot be overemphasized. We cannot stop talking about the fact that we must come together. The more we come together, the more we are able to extend the capacity of artificial intelligence.
Wonderful, thank you so much. So Mr. Quainon and Mr. Amwa, on collaboration, if there are some practical examples where you collaborated with in a project with design thinking and AI, you came up with something you can share with us as well.
Okay, so practical example, I look at our hub, Tech Hub. So at Digital Hub, we have engineers, we have front-end engineers, we have back-end engineers, we have machine learning guys, we have DevOps, we have UX engineers, we have product owners, and we have our engineering manager and our boss. So usually when we have projects, projects are temporary endeavors with start and stopped it. It means that we are working with a strict timeline, a strict budget, and then there's a demand. So this is where collaboration comes in. If you give a project to me alone, I'm able to do the project, but not within probably the desired time. So we try to come together, different people from different backgrounds, different strengths. We meet, we ideate, we have agile frameworks, agile tools, collaborative tools, Jira, using Teams and other collaborative platforms to address our problems. We work together on a daily basis. We look at a sprint. We organize our project in sprints. We work on them, and then different people are doing different parts of the application, and then usually it comes out beautifully. Within 2 years, we've shipped and then we've shipped 2 major products within the cement group for Africa, from Ghana. The hub is in Ghana, and then the apps are in real time working for. Let me. Do you know Gasem? Gasem Cement, yes, the nation builder. Yes. So Gasem uses our solution for the yard management, and then uses our solution again for customer engagement for cement ordering, e-payment, among others. And these were designed by Ghanaian engineers in-house. And that's even why we are here, to get more engineers to export even beyond Africa. So collaboration cannot be overemphasized, and we have a talent. Our MD is here, and he trusts in our talent. And he says, hey, Philip, let's go back to tech, get more of you guys, ship and even export to Europe and other parts of the world. So we do all these things because we are able to work as a team, and again, because our company has integrated AI tooling as part of our work ethics. So we have a lot of AI tooling available for the developers within Heidelberg. And so we are unable to see that we have gotten to a bottleneck where humans cannot help and the machines can help. There's always a breakthrough, and there's always a way we get things done on time and faster. So I would recommend that don't just depend on AI tooling. The knowledge base should be there. As engineers, we should go through the 4 years and learn the most important things. The difficult mathematics that we did helped us a lot. Computer engineering, you do some calculus, you do some several variables, you do differential equations, and all those things. I don't see how it works for me today, but I think it has jammed my brain. Yeah. I'm able to think deeper into things and get things done. So we shouldn't be so dependent on AI. Let's build the brain first so that we are able to exchange. You see, when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate to expose you. So let's build the fundamentals here strongly. And then you appreciate AI. If I'm building an app with you, we are both having access to AI. The app I will design is better than yours. Yes, I'm very sure about it because of the kind of interactions the prompt engineering I do. So the AI is there. It's like everybody can cook jollof, but it's not everybody who can cook jollof for everybody. Yes, you can cook in your room, but if you say cook jollof for everybody over here, you see that you end up cooking a mutu. Okay, so. Okay.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Moa, on collaborations.
All right, so on the collaboration front, you can't do away with it. From the whole design thinking process, you can't do away with it. You have to go talk to people for you to get the ideas in the first place, or to really realize whether what you are trying to do is good for them or not. Even on the implementation stage, you're trying to actually develop the thing. For example, back-end engineers, you ask back-end people to come and do front-end. They'll be able to do it to a somewhat of a good degree. But if you ask a front-end engineer to come and come up with the front-end, it looks so much better, right? So you being able to collaborate with a front-end person will make your app so much better as compared to you decide, oh, because I know how to do back-end, I can still figure out front-end, so I'm going to do it. It will end up not being so good. The user might not really like it. Collaboration is so important to the point that even AI now uses collaboration. So one of our speakers talked about AI agents. Some of these AI agents use collaboration. So one of them acts as an optometrist. Another acts as this. So there was this AI paper that came out just a couple of years ago, in which they made one LLM act as a back-end engineer. They make another one act as a front-end, make another one act as a project manager. And you realize that the kind of system they'll come up with is so much better as compared to you asking one single prompt. Okay, this particular prompt, do all this for me. Because it might be better, that particular sequence might be better tuned towards the back end. So the back end will be solid, but the front end wouldn't be, as compared to you letting the AI or the LLM constructs collaborate with themselves. So you ask one LLM, okay, AI agent, so all these coding tools that we use nowadays, they are collaborating together. So how much more we, the engineers, supposed to do, right? It goes further to even when you're trying to come up with your AI models and everything. If you're trying to come up with the AI models themselves, you have to collaborate with someone else because the ideas will don't be in your head alone. There might be something that you might be missing. There might be something on the human side or the usability side that you might be missing. In our team, for example, we are a bunch of nerds stuck in one room. So every single time we have to come up with something, it's our project manager who has to come in and be like, you guys are forgetting about this. And true, we'll forget about it too. And he will come and prompt us that, no, you're supposed to do it this way because I am not like you people, but I see what you are not seeing. That, for example, you need a much better user flow than what you people just did right now, right? Collaboration, you can't do away with it, right from the defining the problem all the way to implementation. You need to collaborate in all sorts of ways.
Thank you so much. Our future innovators, are we listening? Okay, so when you want to come up with something, make sure you are collaborating with your friends from social science, your communicators and all of that to come up with a better solution for all of us. So the final question to all our panelists. What opportunities do you think are coming in the next future that our students can pick it up and use it in terms of design thinking and AI? Because when Mr. Benny was talking, he talked about the fact that AI will help us generate millionaires in the next 5 years. So what are some of the opportunities? And if you have some tips for our future innovators, you can share with us. Let me start with Dr. Ej.
Okay, tips. Okay, so there are engineers here. So tips, I probably strongly urge you to not to look only within the country. You see, don't train yourself to just be minded to remain here for the rest of your life. One of the things that AI Opportunity has offered is you can be here and offer your services to somebody in New Zealand. All right? So the skills you are being, the skills being passed on to you now, the training you are receiving, take them very seriously and be open to opportunities outside the country. There are people outside looking for services that are very abundant here in this part of the world. I think one of the speakers even mentioned that. So within the next few years, skills like programming, being able to program, and just being able to be very good on the computer for several things, digital skills, social media skills, and so on and so forth, are going to be very, very relevant. Essentially, being able to design, right? Being able to systematically solve problems with the tools that you are being equipped with is going to be very, very, very important. As to what specific problem you solve, there are so many of them outside. My interest is with those who would not want to, or who are not looking to, let's say, be employed by someone, but try to start something from scratch. There are so many problems waiting to be solved. If you take our healthcare system, for example, there are so many problems. Our electronic health record systems are not optimized to take advantage of the current AI boom. There are solutions that need to come there. Our fintech space is still expanding. Solutions need to come. I suspect manufacturing will soon be coming to some parts of Africa. Uganda is doing that very well. So for those who are very good with these embedded systems and that type of designs, opportunities along that space is also coming very strong. So don't sit on the island and say this AI thing is for geeks. Everybody should have a very good understanding, and I can't emphasize the collaboration enough. Don't just do intra-collaboration, computer engineer to computer engineer. You may miss some ones that both of you don't have. Collaborate outside. Try to talk with people doing things outside your field, and it will give you a very good understanding of what actually is persisting in the real world. So very good software engineering skills. Just being very good with the computer. Just take social media related stuff, all of those things. Those opportunities are really opening up strongly for people with such skill sets. So roughly, those are some of the things I'll talk about.
Thank you so much, Doc. So to John.
Yeah, so I think there are a lot of opportunities for us growing up. As students and as engineers, one thing I'll say is that it's very important for us to learn how to actually build these AI agents. As someone who have been building AI tools for a while now, I really am thrilled by the fact that every day there are new models and there are new tools that are coming out. In fact, we need to start thinking as solution architects, not programmers, because writing code will soon come to an end, actually. The AI is getting better and better at it. I watched this video by Landgraph where they developed this solution called OpenSui. It is an AI coding tool that helps them to write code, specifically Landgraph code. Yeah. And interestingly, at the time that they released that video, in that month, OpenSui was one of the highest contributor of itself. So it was a coding agent developing itself. And that's interesting. So if I have access to this particular coding agent, then what do I lack? The only thing I'll be putting inside is ideas, architecting solutions, and not actually writing code. So in order to harness all these powers and be able to solve problems in Ghana, we need to start thinking as solution architects and not just writing code.
All right, so I think that the top opportunity we have in this era is the invitation to lead. You know, one of the critical things that we need to be thinking about and discussing, especially academia in raising the youth, is how do we train the human mind to lead? How do we train the human mind to intentionally lead? And I think that AI gives that opportunity to overcome a lot of our fears. Because the reason why we mostly do not create, lead, is because we have a lot of fears. And I think that if someone is about starting, if you're leaving school and you want to start a business, some of the questions that will come to you is, do I have the resource to start? Do I have the human capital to collaborate with, to do what I want to do? Do I have people ready to buy the things? So the questions are not about whether there is availability of tools to solve the problems. The question, which is critical, is that are we internally prepared to face the challenges that comes to wanting to create something? And I think that this era gives us the best opportunity to venture out to overcome our fears. So if you look at what Tweek is trying to do, if you are afraid to connect, artificial intelligence actually gives you the opportunity to connect to minds. If you're afraid to sort of start something and it's because you lack human resources, artificial intelligence will give you the opportunity to start. So I think what is very good for us in this era, you see, we don't just become millionaires, just that. We create millionaires when we create more leaders, because then the leaders' mentality will overcome a lot of challenges So the core of this era as Africa, our main focus should be that we are developing minds that will overcome the challenges of creativity. If the average person is willing to learn the skills of resilience, if the average person is willing to learn the skills of bringing people together, organizing people, then we are ready to lead. So when the VC was talking about the opportunities for us, she said that we have been given a key. And I think that AI opens a lot of doors for us to lead. But the question is, are we ready to bear the stress of leadership? And I think that the skills that we are being helped to develop whilst in school is to build that mental capacity to lead. You know, AI is new, but do we have the tools to take advantage of it? Africa, do we have the tools? We have to be thinking long term. You are graduating, so give or take 10 years from now. I was listening to IT consortium leader, and he's been in business for about 30 years. And I am starting, it's been a decade, but the point is, are you willing to start your AI business and you're going to get results from that business 20 years from now? So that leadership mentality of not giving up, we have the opportunity to develop that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Queenan.
The future. Okay, so I'll make it brief. The future is exciting with AI. We should have hope. Okay, and then there's a fact that most of this AI stuff out there is available in our part of the world. We should be always, if not at the edge of technology, be following tech trends. We should be following. We shouldn't learn a tool today and stick that this is what I use, this is my tool. I won't change it. No. Things are changing really fast. Connect to the right channels, connect to the right people, the right business, the right mentors, and then you see what's happening today. Because once you get to know what's happening today, you realize that the problem you're trying to solve is already solved. People try and create apps this year, which is not useful because it's actually somebody's plugin. So we need to be following stuff and then understand what really this age problem is. And then as tech guys, we should have an open mind. Don't think that I've looked around, there's no problem again, everything has been solved. No. You still have open mind, and then connect with other disciplines, and then you get an eureka moment. Okay, thank you.
All right. So I would say, one, be ready, because as you just said, some of these tools that we are currently using are so common or free to us now. For example, OpenAI released GPT-5, I think last week, Thursday or Friday, one of them. And it's much cheaper than GPT-4. That's like the previous generation. So it's better than GPT-5 is better than GPT-4, but it's cheaper. Right? So it's getting to the point in which the tools you are using are all going to be quite low cost. So you have to be ready. And how do you get ready? My way, or what I would say is, learn the fundamentals. The stuff that you are teaching or you are being taught here is what you're going to build on to learn how to use all these other tools, right? He mentioned something about being a solutions architect. Being a solutions architect is you being strategic or being systematic in your thinking of how to solve a particular problem. You figuring out how to solve the particular problem in a systematic way. That's you designing the solution, being a solutions architect. How do you do that? You first have to get your coding basics down right. You need to figure out the fundamentals. You need to figure out them all down first before we can build on all these tools, so we can be able to use them properly. So yes, I'll say be ready, learn the fundamentals, and also learn how to spot problems. For example, when we're coming in today, there was a queue outside, I think for registration, if I'm right. Someone can pick up that as a problem to solve. With AI, right? You get one of these LLM tools, you brainstorm with it, figure out something, you talk with some of your partners or some of your friends, and figure out if that particular problem or that particular solution is workable and can be useful. And it's going to curb that particular problem of long queues all the time. All right, so that's my tips. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The future is exciting. Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay, thank you so much to our panelists, Dr. J. John, Mr. Ajaidu, Mr. Koinun, and Mr. Amwa. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation on design thinking and AI. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. You can take our seats. Let's do it better for them as they take their seats. So at least if you didn't hear anything, your takeaway can be the need to collaborate when you want to come up with a prototype or you come up with an idea. Let's have a very short game. So we are going to play a quick game. It's going to be projected on the screens. There's going to be an award when you win it. The instructions will be on the screen, so kindly look on the screen and let's follow the instructions. We know how technology can be sometimes, so let's be calm. Control room, kindly help us with the projection so that we can play the game. So let's scan it. Let's see who wins. Is it working? Try scanning, try harder. The winner gets a prize, so make sure you scan. Is it working? So if it's not working, you can just type quiz.com and enter the code on the screen so that you can also play the game as well. Quiz.com. So if you want to scan, aim the camera right here and you can scan it. I can't see us scanning it all. Are we scanning? Okay. Can we start the game? Be fast, be fast. Don't go and put the question in AI. Don't go and put the question in ChatGPT. Oh, what happened? Are we starting all over? Okay. Technology. But remember that we are playing this game every day till the end of this program, and the winner gets an award. So make sure you are here every day to play the game. When you win, you get the award. You have to be here to play the game to win. So let's go again. Okay, so let's halt on the game. Let's halt on the game, listen to our final speaker, then we can play the game before we close. Are we good? Are we good? We will play the game, don't worry, we'll play the game. Okay, so our final speaker is a dynamic technology leader with a proven track record in driving digital transformation and building strategic IT capabilities across Africa. Currently, he's serving as the managing director for Heidelberg Materials Digital Hub and leading the establishment of a dedicated digital hub following the successful implementation of key digital solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's welcome the Managing Director of Heidelberg Materials Digital Ghana, Mr. Arnold Giovanni Ando. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, good morning. And all protocols observed. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to be here this morning in a very short notice. What led us here this week, some months back we had this job fair, and GASEM was heavily involved. I had to task a few of my colleagues to quickly put something together, just so that we are able to join and then see what talent we have in KNUST. Before I continue, if you give me the approval, I would want to put away the big title she introduced as managing director. So I want to put that title aside, and I want to come down to your level as brothers and sisters. Is that okay? Is that approved? So we are not relating as some managing director standing here and then you as a student. We are all on the same level. Is it approved? All right, thank you. Please, do I have the slides? Okay, so we happen to design a case study or a scenario for the hackathon. And I would want to run you through the case study. This was heavily engineered by my lead engineer, Philip, and a few of his colleagues. All right, the next slide. So basically, it's a late e-payment ecosystem. That was a challenge we gave out for the hackathon. For whatever reason, we had over 28 groups with about 5 members registering. And then we made a plan for only 50 candidates. So then we had to come up with a filtering process. So on last Friday, we gave a few case studies just for us to filter down the 28 to a group of 10 and 5 members in each group. All right, so now we have the 10 groups made up of 5 members each. And then what they are going to do is to design, architect, and implement a scalable, intelligent, and a fault-tolerant e-payment infrastructure. And then the team is free to define a business domain and a use case, for example, an e-commerce. So, I mean, once you are coming from a building material organization, so we put in, if you can come up with an e-commerce, for example, a customer-facing application. So building materials, ordering platforms, remittance platform, B2B billing, like ECG payment, water bill payment, finance infra, crypto, fintech, sales as a service, I mean, e-commerce application. But your solution must treat payment as a mission-critical asynchronous distributed flow. That is the key thing. Okay, so basically this is what the guys are working on currently. I don't know if they are in the break room. All right, okay, so they are there currently, and this is what they are working at. Next slide, please. All right, what is my interest here? And then what is the interest for you as students? Again, I said I put away my managing director role. I want to come to your level. Because what I have realized is we could have spent this time, the cost of traveling from Accra with 6 of my colleagues to Kumasi, I could have spent that cost going into the market and then fetch talent from the market. Now, for your information, the same talent I was going to fetch in the market, for your information, I can get that same talent, that quality from here. So for me, there is no need spending so much time. So for example, if I have to do mass recruitment, 20 persons, I would rather go into the market, fetch 20%. I will come to the universities, fetch 80%. And then I'm going to create this tandem model. So you have, let's say, one senior engineer, you have another mid-level engineer, you help bridge the quality in the system. All right, so for me as an organization, what is my interest? Access to skilled talent. Exactly what we are doing here, bringing up the hackathon, okay? So then I get a chance to physically see you guys, what you are doing. I mean, basically it's a coding hackathon. So Philip is going to review the codes, how you model your codes, how you structure your codes. We review them, we assess your team. If there is any chance to directly bring you into the hub, this is why we are here, okay? So we want to have access to skilled talent and then enhance employer branding, positions Heidelberg as an educational focused industry leader. So this year I am going to exceed my budget by adding 10 more national service personnel. The other thing, which is my interest, is that, of course, it's going to save me a lot of cost in terms of recruitment, because then I have to engage a lot of recruitment agencies. I have to talk to other guys, and I mean, you are paying quite a lot for all this. So it becomes quite cheaper for me if I have to come here directly. Time-wise, it's, I mean, very effective for me. Innovation and research collaboration, so opportunity for co-development solutions with the student. For example, yesterday I was on the student defense, and we realized you guys were coming up with very good solutions, okay? Now, what you guys are lacking, or what I saw yesterday, is you are not practicing the entire software delivery life cycle. So you have, let's say, a team of 2 or 3, and then there is no product owner, there is no project manager, there is no UI UX designer. I mean, all this defined. So you have one person doing UI UX, doing the front-end coding, doing the DevOps bit, doing the cloud infrastructure setup, and then you have one person doing the back-end, okay? These are the gaps I realized in the yesterday defenses. Now, it means when we put you together in a very formidable team, you guys are going to come out clean. Even that, there were a lot of, I mean, wonderful presentations from your level 400 students. All right, so what is also the benefit for the students in KNUST? One, industry-aligned curriculum. So you are here doing the classroom bit of exercise, but we are going to give you the opportunity. Now, I wrote something here that anytime you see Heidelberg Materials Digital Hub on campus, take advantage of it, because we are here to fetch talent. Okay, that is why, again, I said I am putting away my managing director title, so you can come to me, let's talk. Tell me what you are capable of doing. Tell me what you want. Tell me how we can help you. Okay, and so we are going to offer internship programs. Some could be sponsored internships. I mean, if you're in level 100 and we find you interesting, we are going to keep you for the, I mean, entire 3 or 4 years sponsored internship program. We have already identified, in the first visit, I think we had 2 national service, and then we hope to have 3 to 4 more national service for this year. What will be attractive for this purpose, I would not mention, but when I should engage you one-on-one, you understand why I want you to join Heidelberg Materials Digital Hub. And then improve graduate employability, so students gain competitive skills for the job market. I mean, we are not going to pin you in the organization. When you have the room or the chance to move into another organization, at least you have the flexibility, your skill set is improved, your knowledge base is improved. All right, next slide. So core expectation for the hackathon is architecture-wise, we want the student to come up with a very clean architecture. So at least 3 distinct services, example, API orchestrators, payment gateways, audit logger. Okay, these are the expectations we're expecting from the guys. We are also looking at security and integrity. We are looking at observability and then tracing. We are looking at developer experience, which is very important, how you manage your code, okay? We are looking at real-world testing, and then business logic depth. So how are you able to put your case study together? How are you able to put your solution proposal together? These are the things we are expecting from you guys. Okay, so generally, for the next 3 days, this is what the hackathon or the selected hackathon team are going to focus on. Please, when you find us here on Tech Campus, take advantage of it. I'm going to engage with, quite a number of you. We have identified a few already. Philip is going to engage, a few other more. We will interview you. We will see if there is a need to engage you for these internship programs. Furthermore, for National Service Program. After National Service, we find you interesting. We have another training program, which is the Engineers in Training. For 2 years, you still have room to be trained within the Heidelberg culture, within our best practices, within our standards. So thank you so much, and all the best to all the candidates in the hackathon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arnold. Round of applause once more. Tweek 2025. Tweek 2025. Innovate, create. For the last time, Tweek 2025. Thank you so much. So very soon we'll be coming to the end of the first session. And these are a few announcements I would like us to observe. So there's going to be the exhibition happening at the foyer upstairs. So right after here, we would all go there and see the things that are being exhibited. And all students are to wait for their item. And there's going to be the breakout session where final year students will pitch their projects. So make sure you are there. If you are in final year, you know the particular room you are supposed to be. And our partners as well, you kindly check your programs. Where you are going to be will be indicated there. And there's going to be another session, Code and Confidence. It will be happening here at the Great Hall. So right after the exhibition, when we take our item, we all move here for Code and Confidence, Women in Tech. Are we good with the announcement? Are we clear on that? Okay. So kindly let's be on our feet as we take our last prayer. Let's be on our feet. Shall we pray? We thank you, our Heavenly Father, for such a successful program. We commit the rest of the event into your care. We pray that you help us so that we have a successful Tweek 2025. In the mighty name of Jesus have I prayed with thanksgiving. Amen. Thank you all for coming. Remember, there's going to be an exhibition at the foyer. We take our item and come back for Code and Confidence. Thank you all. Hello? So all students are to go for their item with their coupon. If you don't have a coupon, go to the registration table. You are going to get a coupon for your item. Thank you.
crowdfunding.
Okay, so this is an IoT device, an IoT extension board. It is basically supposed to give a user or a consumer the ability to control his or her extension boards remotely. Most of the time, as people, we leave our houses and sometimes we forget that we left sockets on, we left devices connected to sockets not turned off. So you can't come back and then come and turn it off. Maybe you may be busy at work or something. So having a device such as this will give you the opportunity to turn it off remotely via an app that we have as a counterpart to the device. So how it works is it uses 4 relay modules to control each of the sockets. We have linked one of the relay modules to the bulb so that when we turn it on, users can see that yes, it's really working. Okay, and then it also has a current sensor. Now the current sensor feeds information to the app so that the user can know how much power or how much energy they are consuming at every point in time. So those are basically the components that make up and then also a fuse to protect it from surges and overcurrents.
So we have the SmartX, we have a manual override, and we have a mobile app. So the manual override is when you are close to your extension board and you don't have your phone around and you just want to use it as an ordinary extension board. So that you can have, we have these switches to control the turn on and off of the various components of the extension board. So you can see as I turn them on, the various components goes off, and as I turn them on, they go on as well. But if you are far away and you want to control your extension board, if you forgot to do something with your extension board, you can actually turn them off and on.
The Office of Grants and Research, KNUST.
Since I wanted to read an engineering course, KNUST was the only adoption. Yes. And so I just applied, and then by God's grace I got it. I chose computer engineering mainly because I'm a big fan of technology. I'm fun, I like technology, like the idea of being able to build something that combines design and technology together. I just like the idea of it, and then I said, well, I would also like to be involved in those, computers, programming, softwares, those systems that run the everyday machines we have, and then be part of that industry. So far, university is interesting. It's taking time to adapt, which makes it interesting because the courses, in my opinion, they started too early with the assignments and all that, but then we move.
Tweek 2024 stands for Technology Week 2024. This was born out of the desire to institute something that would create a certain kind of activity that will nurture the relationship we have between us and our industry. So the departmental board decided that we will try this initiative where we invite all our industrial partners, our valued industrial partners, to engage in a technology week to create a platform where students can exhibit their innovation We can also have seminars and discussions on latest trends as far as technology is concerned.
A lot of preparations went into the organization, from the side of getting the industry partners to join us and preparing the students to exhibit, to present their work, and to come together to create an opportunity for collaboration, for networking.
In the past, we used to do final year student defense behind the scenes. Industry wouldn't see, and people complain that, oh, we have solutions, but industry is not buying into it. But this time, we wanted to do co-creation. So they will come and see what our students are doing, and those that have potential business value, we start to nurture them into businesses.
We believe as an organization, identifying talents that can innovate using AI is the future. And KNUST, being the biggest technology university in Ghana, is the right place to be. As an organization that believes in technology, we believe that through collaboration with KNUST, we will be able to come up with new innovations. We'll be able to identify talents that can develop solutions for our partners across the globe, and we'll be able to support the ecosystem.
We had exhibitions, so all the students did poster presentations, which was open to the general public. Think about this, parents and other stakeholders could walk in and look at whatever our students were doing.
I like the fact that they are making us showcase our creativity with our project work for partners to invest and see what we are good at.
Previously, I've just been our supervisors and we go in and come back. But then presenting to other people has been a learning curve for us and for other people as well.
It's been good, it's been exciting. I speak to the students and they're happy. They're happy, they got to meet people from industry, they got to hear from them, know what is going on in tech and how they can prepare themselves to join industry.
So next year we'll take it a notch higher. Probably we're looking at an international level where we'll expand the partnerships list, and then we'll do more of collaborative and co-creation projects. Eventually what we want this to see is that we want to be able to count the number of projects we'll be able to turn into products or businesses. As we said at the beginning of the conference, we are no longer going to count degrees, but we are going to move a next step to count the number of jobs or impacts that we have made as far as the society is concerned. That is our target.
I've always believed that the talent exists, is the opportunity that we lack. So I realized most of the guys were talented, they were enthusiastic about the hackathon, and so far they're doing great stuff.
Well, it's been really great. You know, a lot of the kids are very curious. They seem to be very hardworking, even when they are not quite sure of how to solve a particular problem. And when they come ask you about what you think about it, you can tell that they've done a lot of thinking and they've actually tried to solve the problem. And they're also quite creative, so it's quite encouraging, you know, to have young, energetic, smart, creative people. Wonderful mix.
I came here to understand how innovation, or how I can be innovative into the field of engineering, and how I can improve upon the systems we have in place, and also learn the correlation between academic and industry, and how to transition smoothly into the industrial systems.
I think if I exposed us to very wonderful things today, and it's been an annual program, I think it's going to largely benefit the students of this department.
Well, I've learned that there are a lot of things going on in Ghana that I didn't really know about, that they're actually exciting. So the future of tech in Ghana is looking very good.
I think it's a nice program so far, that's what I've seen. And I'm hoping that it should be done consistently.
Honestly, they've shared a lot of tips. A lot were entrepreneurial, a lot were educational, a lot were about how to build yourself as an individual entering. And a lot were also about encouragement for women, for us to improve, dive into the whole industry. So I feel very encouraged and enlightened, basically.
I am looking forward to the female engineer coming up and doing great things, to work and collaborate on projects, to do what she loves to do. Yes, not because she has to do it, but because she wants to do it and she's good at it.
In future, we want to bring some of our partners to be part of this program so that they can see some of the wonderful solutions that have been developed by the young people here in the KNUST. We are really impressed.
We are hoping that come next year, there will be Tweek 2025. It will be on a bigger platform. There will be more partners from industry. Our students will be better prepared with more quality products to exhibit. We're also hoping for more collaborations with other departments and hopefully making this a university-wide program.
Tweek has come to stay. And for our industrial partners that we didn't call on, well, it's just because this was the first time that we're doing this. And for some of you, we felt that it was a short notice. And so if you were left out, it wasn't by design. But next year, we're going to expand. And when we come to your doors, we expect that you cooperate with us as you have been doing that over the years. And we know that it will be a symbiotic relationship. We are moving away from a parasitic relationship where we always ask to a relationship where we co-create wealth together, such that both industry and academia benefit. And so as we work on this journey, we expect that we all work together for the mutual prosperity of our institutions. And when that is achieved, the country will move forward. And obviously, the purpose for which KNUST was established as a beacon of hope as far as our industrial revolution as a country in Africa is concerned will be achieved.
Tweek 2024! From the bedboard to boardroom! Yay!
Araba, there are some people at the door. Go and tell them I have traveled to Russia.
Yes, Daddy.
Where's your father?
My father said I should tell you he has traveled to Russia.
Your father has killed me. I sent him money from America to complete my house for me.
Are all student association contributions?
Even the money from the fundraiser for Kweku's surgery.
Oh! He too?
Don't be a victim. If you're contributing to a project, alumni dues, or any public campaign, Chango is your best choice. Chango keeps track of all donations and gives you the power to know exactly where the money goes. Chango is approved by Bank of Ghana. Call 0270-066-614 or visit changoapp.com for more information.
Uncle, my father is hiding under the bed.
Oh, Araba.
Chango for your groupings and crowdfunding.
Okay, so this is an IoT device, an IoT extension board. It is basically supposed to give a user or a consumer the ability to control his or her extension boards remotely. Most of the time, as people, we leave our houses and sometimes we forget that we left sockets on, we left devices connected to sockets not turned off. So you can't come back and then come and turn it off. Maybe you may be busy at work or something. So having a device such as this will give you the opportunity to turn it off remotely via an app that we have as a counterpart to the device. So how it works is it uses 4 relay modules to control each of the sockets. We have linked one of the relay modules to the bulb, so that when we turn it on, users can see that yes, it's really working. Okay, and then it also has a current sensor. Now the current sensor feeds information to the app so that the user can know how much power or how much energy they are consuming at every point in time. So those are basically the components that make up the, and then also a fuse to protect it from surges and overcurrents.
So we have the SmartX, we have a manual override, and we have a mobile app. So the manual override is when you are close to your extension board and you don't have your phone around and you just want to use it as an ordinary extension board. So that you can have, we have these switches to control the turn on and off of the various components of the extension board. So you can see as I turn them on, the various components goes off, and as I turn them on, they go on as well. But if you are far away and you want to control your extension board, if you forgot to do something with your extension board, you can actually turn them off and on.
The Office of Grants and Research KNUST.
Since I wanted to do an engineering course, KNUST was the only other option. Yes. And so I just applied, and then by God's grace I got it. I chose computer engineering mainly because I'm a big fan of technology. I'm fun, I like technology, like the idea of being able to build something that combines design and technology together. I just like the idea of it, and then I said, well, I would also like to be involved in those, computers, programming, softwares, those systems that run the everyday machines we have, and then be part of that industry. So far, university is interesting. It's taking time to adapt, which makes it interesting, because the courses, in my opinion, they started too early with the assignments and all that, but then we move.
Tweek 2024 stands for Technology Week 2024. This was born out of the desire to institute something that would create a certain kind of activity that will nurture the relationship we have between us and our industry. So the departmental board decided that we will try this initiative where we invite all our industrial partners, our valued industrial partners, to engage in a technology week to create a platform where students can exhibit their innovation. We can also have seminars and discussions on latest trends as far as technology is concerned.
A lot of preparations went into the organization, from the side of getting the industry partners to join us and preparing the students to exhibit, to present their work, and to come together to create an opportunity for collaboration, for networking.
In the past, we used to do final year student defense behind the scenes. Industry wouldn't see, and people complain that, oh, we have solutions, but industry is not buying into it. But this time, we wanted to do co-creation. So they will come and see what our students are doing, and those that have potential business value, we start to nurture them into businesses.
We believe as an organization, identifying talents that can innovate using AI is the future. And KNUST, being the biggest technology university in Ghana, is the right place to be. As an organization that believes in technology, we believe that through collaboration with KNUST, we will be able to come up with new innovations. We'll be able to identify talents that can develop solutions for our partners across the globe. and we'll be able to support the ecosystem.
We had exhibitions, so all the students did poster presentations, which was open to the general public. Think about this, parents and other stakeholders could walk in and look at whatever our students were doing.
I like the fact that they are making us showcase our creativity with our project work for partners to invest and see what we are good at.
Previously, I've just been our supervisors and we go in and come back. But then presenting to other people has been a learning curve for us and for other people as well.
It's been good, it's been exciting. I speak to the students and they're happy. They're happy, they got to meet people from industry, they got to hear from them, know what is going on in tech and how they can prepare themselves to join industry.
So next year we'll take it a notch higher. Probably we're looking at an international level where we'll expand the partnerships list, and then we'll do more of collaborative and co-creation projects. Eventually, what we want this to see is that we want to be able to count the number of projects we've been able to turn into products or businesses. As we said at the beginning of the conference, we are no longer going to count degrees, but we are going to move a next step to count the number of jobs or impacts that we have made as far as the society is concerned. That is our target.
I've always believed that the talent exists, is the opportunity that we lack. So I realized most of the guys were talented, they were enthusiastic about the hackathon, and so far they're doing great stuff.
Well, it's been really great. You know, a lot of the kids are very curious. They seem to be very hardworking, even when they are not quite sure of how to solve a particular problem, and when they come ask you about what you think about it, you can tell that they've done a lot of thinking and they've actually tried to solve the problem. And they're also quite creative, so it's quite encouraging, you know, to have young, energetic, smart, creative people. Wonderful mix.
I came here to understand how innovation, or how I can be innovative into the field of engineering, and how I can improve upon the systems we have in place, and also learn the correlation between academic and industry, and how to transition smoothly into the industrial systems.
I think if exposed us to very wonderful things today, and it's been an annual program, I think it's going to largely benefit the students of this department.
Well, I've learned that there are a lot of things going on in Ghana that I didn't really know about, that they're actually exciting. So the future of tech in Ghana is looking very good.
I think it's a nice program so far, that's what I've seen, and I'm hoping that it should be done consistently.
Honestly, they've shared a lot of tips. A lot were entrepreneurial, a lot were educational, a lot were about how to build yourself as an individual entering, and a lot were also about encouragement for women, for us to improve, dive into the whole industry. So I feel very encouraged and enlightened, basically.
I am looking forward to the female engineer coming up and doing great things, to work and collaborate on projects, to do what she loves to do. Yes, not because she has to do it, but because she wants to do it and she's good at it.
In future, we want to bring some of our partners to be part of this program so that they can see some of the wonderful solutions that are being developed by the young people here in the KNUST. We are really impressed.
We are hoping that come next year, there will be Tweek 2025. It will be on a bigger platform. There will be more partners from industry. Our students will be better prepared with more quality products to exhibit. We're also hoping for more collaborations with other departments and hopefully making this a university-wide program.
Tweek has come to stay. And for our industrial partners that we didn't call on, well, it's just because this was the first time that we're doing this. And for some of you, we felt that it was a short notice. And so if you were left out, it wasn't by design. But next year, we're going to expand. And when we come to your doors, we expect that you cooperate with us as you have been doing that over the years. And we know that it will be a symbiotic relationship. We are moving away from a parasitic relationship where we always ask to a relationship where we co-create wealth together, such that both industry and academia benefit. And so as we work on this journey, we expect that we all work together for the mutual prosperity of our institutions. And when that is achieved, the country will move forward. And obviously, the purpose for which KNUST was established as a beacon of hope as far as our industrial revolution as a country in Africa is concerned will be achieved.
Tweek 2024! From the bad boys to boardroom!
Araba, there are some people at the door. Go and tell them I have traveled to Russia.
Yes, Daddy.
Where's your father?
My father said I should tell you he has traveled to Russia.
Your father has killed me. I sent him money from America to complete my house for me.
Are all student association contributions?
Even the money from the fundraiser for Kweku's surgery.
Oh!